Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. Just about 11:30 in Honolulu, 5:30 in New York. It is Friday. Happy Aloha Friday, as we say on the island, April the 5th, 2019. And this is the daily report for gold and silver. Interesting action throughout the week, some wild gyrations in platinum and palladium. We'll talk about that in a second. But the trade negotiations, the face-to-face negotiations did end today, and they did not result in any kind of agreement. Supposedly, they will pick things up vis-à-vis video conferencing next week. We also had a very strong jobs report coming in over expectations. And all of these collectively had the markets exhibit some mild swings. When we take a look at gold, gold finished slightly higher on the day, $12.95.90, putting it up about $1.60. And silver actually traded lower on the day. I will actually put it in the unchanged column, about a half a cent change at $15.08. But it was platinum and palladium that really had wild swings. $19.05.10, that is in essence unchanged on the day in platinum. That was up earlier, but palladium had an incredible swing. It closed up $11.50. However, it traded to a low of $12.92 intraday, and we will definitely touch on that as we pull up our charts. Let's take a look at our technical studies. The first chart that I do want to look at today is gold. This is a daily candlestick chart of most active June gold. And what we can say is that there has been some support, at least on a closing basis, at the 0.38% retracement, which comes in roughly at $1,291.60. However, at the same time, we have to acknowledge these extreme lows that came in yesterday and not so much today. Also, the fact is, you can see that there's been very little movement throughout the entire week in terms of the differential between the open and close. Now, while I feel comfortable that we've seen the market find some support at 1290, my sense is that for us to really trigger some sort of a buy signal in gold, and that's what I've been waiting for, we really need to see an authentic break and close above 1300. 1300, without a question of a doubt, seems to be the number that we have not been able to achieve in terms of gold pricing. As you can see, throughout the entire trading week, we had no open or closing range that went over $1,300. And it is for that reason that we will remain flat until we get a trigger in the gold market. And traders, we can see the same uneventful occurrence in terms of price range within silver. Again, a daily chart of most active silver futures. And take a look at the activity this week. While we had some wild swings to the upside and downside, the differential between the open and closing price are virtually the same or a couple of ticks apart. What that tells me in both gold and silver is A, it is attempting to form a base in both markets. We would look for higher pricing because this base is coming after a defined downtrend that we witnessed both in gold as well as silver. However, we haven't had any solid confirmation. Now, I would have liked to have seen silver close above the 200-day moving average. It just closed at it. But of all the precious metals, this is the one that I am least bullish about. But traders, in terms of wild ranges and pretty much mayhem in the market, the one market that stands out is palladium. And I am sorry that I do have to report that for those that took the high-risk trade of palladium, stops were hit today. Of course, we had stops just below 1300, I believe at 1297. The low today was 1292.50. You can see the wild swing on this daily candlestick chart right here, and that's his doji-like candle. Came close to the 0.38%, but the fact of the matter is it effectively broke below the 100-day moving average and then closed above it with this very, very doji-like candle. And what does that mean longer term for palladium? Does that mean that there has been a bubble that has burst and that this market will continue to track lower? We'll find out about that next week if we get some follow-through selling. But we certainly saw a couple of down days this week, but nothing like what we saw last week when we had 2 consecutive days of a $100 drop per day. To me, there still should be solid support at 1288. That is the 0.38% retracement, but we certainly saw some wild gyrations in Palladium, and those gyrations could easily continue into next week. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We will talk to you on Monday for the next daily update and review. Bye-bye.